So this might look like a normal photo frame, but watch when I play music. Did you catch that? Let me try with a different song. So I built a photo frame which uses AI to transform the photo to match the current vibe of the music that you have playing. Now this is truly an orchestration of a ton of different AI services coming together. So from a system context level, we have the Raspberry Pi, my local Python server, and 4 different cloud hosted models that we're using. So the Raspberry Pi is connected to this IPS HDMI display, and I also have this small USB microphone attached to it. The Raspberry Pi has a couple of different tasks. Every 15 minutes, it grabs an image from my local Python server and displays it on a screen. Also, it listens for the sounds in the ambient environment and tries to identify whether or not music is playing. This is done through a local TensorFlow model that runs right on the Pi. If it identifies music is playing, we use an unofficial Shazam API, which goes and tries to identify the song which is playing. Once it has identified the song, it then hits the server with the image ID, the song name, and the artist. Now, on the server, for all of this process to work, I need to have a good description of the image that I want to transform. So for this, I use a GPT Vision model. What I do is I take the image that I want to show on my photo display, just a raw image by itself before any transformations. So here's, for example, the image of me in front of Osaka Castle in Japan. So what I do is I first hit my local server, and this endpoint then calls GPT-4o, tells GPT to analyze this image and provide back a description. I then append that description to the metadata of the image. So now my local Python server knows the image ID, it can look it up, and can grab the description of that image. Now, in order for this transformation to work, we need to know the vibe of the song and the artist. Now, for this, we use GPT Search Preview. What it does, it goes and takes that song, so for example, Hollow by Dabin, and it will go and search the web and try to figure out the overall vibe of that song. Once it has its profile, what we do is we now send the image description along the profile of the song to a general GPT-4o chat completions model. This model is now tasked with creating a prompt that I can provide to a Flux 2 model. So it puts together a prompt, and this prompt will tell it how to transform this current image to match the vibe of the song and artist. Finally, this gets passed to the Flux 2 model, in which that generates an image and returns that back to the server, which returns that back to my Raspberry Pi. So one of the challenges that I face with doing this is obviously speed. This is a whole pipeline of different services working together. So some speed optimizations which I did was caching the song vibe. So the first time we look up a song vibe, we save it into a SQLite database. Then if that song comes up again, rather than querying GPT Search Preview again, we can just go to the database and pull up that song vibe. It skips one step and saves a couple of seconds from the whole pipeline. Another speed optimization was actually the model I chose for the image generation. I used the Flux 2 9B model. This model can produce new images in underneath a couple of seconds. It is extremely fast, and for the quality you're getting, it's pretty amazing. So lastly, the big challenge I had with this project was time constraint. Because I wanted to give this as a gift, I only had a couple of days to actually finish this project. So because of that, I used Claude Code to vibe code most of this, and it's a kind of sloppy code base, but it works, which is all that matters. I just wanted to share that there are so many creative ways in which you can use AI. This project definitely uses a lot of different AI services, but for me, it got a really cool output and something that adds a little spice to normal photos. So what do you think? Leave your comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for another galvanizing video. Thanks.